Hey guys, um, back again with another video profile. You may have noticed if you subscribe to me or not, um, my name has changed. It's currently Arcteryx or something. I was trying to come up with a name that was easy to find by searching, and so I was changing stuff, and I found out that I couldn't change it anymore. So Googled it, and there's a policy or whatever that I can only make 3 name changes per 90 days. So um, I'll come up with something good that's searchable easily, to make it easier to find my channel, um, and do that in 3 months. But besides that, I've got a new deck profile. This is a level 1 spam deck. As you can see, some of the main cards in here: Last Strix and Utopic Zexal. So, like I said before, I try to keep the video shorter. This one might go longer than I want it to, probably at least 15 minutes, um, including the minute and a half, 2 minute intro that I'm doing here. You can skip through that. Um, but I've got the profile. I'll show you a couple of combos, and we'll get started. So, right before I do this, the inspiration for this came from this guy, JCD Godot. On YouTube, look him up. This is it. He has Utopic Kaiser in his deck and plays him, and it's very, very OP. He plays Piper Magician, which is one that it's a level 1 monster. You tribute it, and you draw a card, and if it's like a level 1 monster, or if it's a monster or something, you get to draw another card. So check out that channel, check out the vid. You'll see how the deck works. This is my own version of that. Like I said, it was inspired, but this is my own build. Um, you'll probably notice some similarities, but between that and a couple other videos, but this is mine. And I recently took this to a couple of tournaments. I did very well. It got shut down by barrier statues because they're barrier statues. This deck revolves around special summoning, and none of the monsters have over 1,000 attack points. All of them are under, so I can't even run into stuff. So, yeah. But I did go 2-0 against ABC Dragons, so this deck can put up a heck of a fight. Alright, without further ado, we'll go to the profile. I'll list all the cards, try to be brief on that, and then I'll go back and talk about them some more. Alright, so first of all, monsters. You gotta play 3 Raidraptor Last Strix. This card is your 1 card, number 77, the 7 Sins play. If you guys don't know what that is, I'll show you that later. I'm just expecting that some of you guys are unfamiliar with this or haven't heard of this stuff before. So, 3 Raidraptor Last Strix. You need to play 3. One of the best cards, if not the best cards in this deck. It is insanely good for so many reasons. Next up, you play 3 Turbo Booster. This is another level 1 monster. Of course, because it's a level 1 spam deck. Why am I saying this? But, getting sidetracked there. Turbo Booster is a level 1 monster that if you have already normal summoned this turn, you can special summon him. And it's not limited to just 1, so if you open 2 in your hand and you normal summon another monster, you can special summon these 2 and go for rank 1 play that with a 3 of them. And that would be Lionheart, number 54 Lionheart, which takes 3 level 1s, which is a very good card. I'll show you that later. So this one you need to play at 3 because it's easy summons, gets you easy XCs. Next is 3 Evil Thorn. This is a really old card. What it is you can tribute this card to inflict 300 damage to your opponent. Then special summon up to 2 Evil Thorns from your deck in face-up attack position. Their effects cannot be activated. So, it's not about the inflicting damage, although that has actually won me a duel. Surprisingly, I got him down to 200 life points, and then Evil Thorned him for the last burn damage for the win. That was pretty hilarious. But Evil Thorn is basically 1 card rank 1. So you play the 1, tribute him to the graveyard, special summon 2 from your deck, then go into a level or rank 1. That's why you need to play 3. This one you should probably play 3. I only got 2 on this, and it works just fine. I have no problems with it at 2. This is Kink Byo. It's a spirit monster. There's you can see a paragraph of text there. But to sum it all up, when you summon this card, you can special summon 1 level 1 monster from your graveyard. So that makes another rank 1 play. Next, I play 2 Big One Warrior. Sorry about that. This one you can play at 3, just a preferential card. During your main phase, you can send 1 level 1 monster except this card from your hand to the graveyard to special summon this card from your hand. So it's a pretty easy special summon. You'll be ditching a card, but like there's Kink Byo, so you can get the cards back. Like if you have these 2 in your hand and another level 1 monster, you can pitch the level 1 to summon Big One Warrior, then normal summon Kink Byo to special summon that other card that you pitched. So then you can go into your Lionheart play. Next, I play a pretty cholsy card in my opinion, 3 Marshmacaron. So this card can be looped infinitely, with the exception of it getting sent to the graveyard without being destroyed or banished. Or banished. It's not destroyed or banished. It's just either of them works. But so if this card is destroyed by battle or card effects, you can special summon up to 2 other Marshmacaron from your hand, deck, and or graveyard. So as long as you have 1, it doesn't matter if the other 2 are in your deck. That gets destroyed, you summon the other 2. One of them gets destroyed, summons the other one. A dark hole, then you can summon the other 2 back. So it's very, very cholsy. It will make you last a long time if you don't get anything else. If you just get the 1 Marshmacaron, you should be able to hold out for a little bit at least. And you'll have your level or rank 1 play up without a doubt. So that's why we play 3. Next, hand traps. I play 2 Effect Veilers to negate your opponent's monster's effect during their main phase. Very good card. Saw a lot of builds with this, playing this at 3. I don't think you need 3. I think 3 kind of clogs a little bit, and I don't need to have it in your hand. It helps at times, which is why I played at 2, but 3 is, in my opinion, is too much. Battle Fader, discard this hand from your hand to the graveyard when your opponent declares direct attack. Then you negate the attack, special summon this card, and end the battle phase. So, pretty good defensively. Another good stally card, which doubles as Fiendish Chain, is one of the cubics. Vijam the Cubic Seed. If you don't know what this does, you might want to know. This card cannot be destroyed by battle. At the end of the damage step, if this card battled an opponent's monster, you can place this card face up in your spell and trap zone as a continuous spell, and if you do, place 1 cubic counter on that opponent's monster. So it doesn't target the monster either, so it just puts it on the monster. So if it's like, oh yeah, this card can't be if the monster is like, oh, it can't be targeted by cards or effects, this gets around that because it does not target. So you can place 1 cubic counter on that monster. Monsters with a cubic counter cannot attack and their effects are negated. And if this card is treated as a continuous spell by this effect during your main phase, you can special summon this card from your spell and trap card zone. So this, you use its effect, then next turn, your main phase, oh, it's a monster, you can go into play. Or just leave it there and stall a little bit. And of course, you need to play the 2 Maxx. Although drawing a good hand is by no means difficult, I never brick. You never brick with this deck. This is a very good deck. Very consistent. Maxx will get you just even more insane plays to do. And yeah. Last but not least, I play 1 Blackluster Soldier on the beginning because I play lights and dark monsters. So you'll get that play out. Next, spells. Try to go through this quicker than I did with the monsters. Play 3 rank up magic. Skip Force. That's a very, very key card. Get into that later. I play 2 rank up magic, the 7th one. Might be wondering why. I'll explain that later as well. I play 3 Draw Muscle. This, if you play a monster in defense position, then you can, and it's face up, you can target it with this Draw Muscle. It can't be destroyed by battle this turn, and then you get a draw card. So you save your life points and your monster for your next play, plus you get a draw off of it. So the draw is very good. I never draw into something like that I can't use. Next, Soul Charge, because it's Soul Charge. Makes a lot of plays happen mid-game. Next, you gotta play 1 for 1, because this is a level 1 deck. This is a staple. You cannot play the deck without 1 for 1. You send 1 monster from your hand to the graveyard, special summon 1 level 1 monster from your hand or deck. So, usually what you prefer to do is pitch something like, you can just pitch anything really. You can pitch a Vijam, which you can just summon back later with your Kink Byo, to summon out your Raidraptor last Strix. And then the last Strix, you're going to use its effect to tribute itself and summon out a Raidraptor Xyz monster from your extra deck. That'll be the Raidraptor Ultimate Falcon, which you then overlay into 7 Sins. Or if you have the Rank Up Magic Skip Force, you can go into Satellite Cannon Falcon, use Skip Force, and then go into Ultimate Falcon. He'll be able to use his effects, which is it's unaffected by all other cards. I'll probably show you that once more. I'll forget that I showed you that, or just be talking, and I'll do that again for you guys later. But that's a good play you can do with 1 for 1. Other spells, I play 2 creature swaps, or if you want, you can play 3 just to be that guy, to steal. Okay, so like I said, all monsters in this deck have less than 1,000 attack. Most other decks, like Blue Eyes and ABCs, even like Monarchs or whatever else, anything is going to be bigger than these guys. So you're going to be creature swapping, giving them that little guy in attack position, taking their big beater, and then running them over. And if it's especially good if you do it with a Marshmacaron, because if you have the Marshmacaron, you give them the Marshmacaron, take their beater, run it over, inflict a ton of damage to them, then that means that Marshmacaron was destroyed by battle. So that gets sent to the graveyard to summon the other 2 Marshmacaron from your hand, deck, or graveyard, wherever they may be at that time in the duel. And then you've got a play to make during main phase 2. that concludes the deck itself. Not very good at keeping my cards organized during these videos, so get that tidied up quick. Oh, yes, almost forgot. So I play, these last 3 cards are, like, totally your opinion, and just, you can put whatever you want in this deck. You can put in 3 Solemn Strikes, you can put in 3 Drownings, you can put a Solemn Strike, a Drowning, Solemn Warning. You can just put whatever you want in. I have a Solemn Strike. I'll probably throw that in here. I probably should have for this video. But this is just how I have it at the moment. I really just made this deck recently. And it works just fine without the Solemn Strikes. It's not a necessary card. It's a great card, don't get me wrong. It's just not just great because, like, doesn't matter what your opponent really does when you have Ultimate Falcon on the field, unaffected by all other card effects. So, the Solemn Strike, you don't really need to have. Great card, though. You can play it if you want. But Wiretap, Mirror Force, and Swords of Revealing Light are the 3, like, unessential cards that I play in this deck. Alright, that concludes the deck profile. Now I'll go into plays I just got ahead of myself. Okay, so, extra deck. Almost forgot the extra deck. Because I remembered talking about the extra deck, but didn't actually show the extra deck. Not all of it, at least. So, since this is a level 1 deck, you're going to go rank 1s. And 2 really good rank 1s are what I call the twins, and I guess a ton of other people call the twins. But it's number 31, Embodiment of Punishment, right here, and number 13, Embodiment of Crime. These have the exact same effects. If they are both on the field, then they get their effects. Otherwise, they do nothing. So you want to get these out at the same time, which isn't very hard in this deck. You get a lot of summoning out. So their effects are this card, and this is both of their effects, but I'm just going to read the one because they say the same thing. This card cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects while it has XYZ material, and your opponent takes any battle damage you would have taken from attacks on this card. Though those are effects that are gained when number 13 is on the field or vice versa. Also, they both have this other effect, which is their primary one. You can detach 1 XYZ material from this card, change all monsters your opponent controls to face-up attack position. Also, all monsters your opponent controls must attack this card this turn, if able. So, what it is, you get these 2 on the field. You've got, like, another thing out. It's protected or whatever because your opponent has to attack either Embodiment of Punishment or Embodiment of Crime. And it's not really a lock that they can't attack. It's that they have to attack one or the other. So don't get those 2 confused. Next up, you gotta play Lionheart. You just gotta. It's super good card. Takes 3 level 1s, very easy to do. This face-up attack position card cannot be destroyed by battle. When you take battle damage from battles involving this card, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the amount of battle damage you took. If this card battles an opponent's monster during damage calculation in either player's turn, you can detach 1 XYZ material from this card. Your opponent takes any battle damage you would have took from that battle. So, it's got 2 options. Either you can just not detach anything and you both take the same amount of battle damage, or you detach one of its 3 units and only your opponent takes damage. And so you just, hey, you've got a big monster. I'm going to hit that big monster. And then your opponent takes like 3,000, 4,000, however many points of damage because, hey, he's only got 100. So you need to have this card in here. Next, you have to play 2 number 39 Utopia Roots. this is basically a smaller version of Utopia. It has the same negating attack ability. So you can detach one material and negate the attack. But it also has an additional effect when you do that. So if you negate an XYZ monster's attack, this card gains attack equal to that monster's rank times 500. So if you can summon 2, which is not hard at all, and then you discard like a rank up magic skip force to summon Utopic Dragon, or actually that's not even the better play. The better play even would be to have the last Strix one, where you do the last Strix, you tribute itself to go into the ultimate Falcon, and then overlay into the 7 Sins. Now 7 Sins is a rank 12 monster, so you declare an attack with a 7 Sins, it's rank 12. You want to negate that attack with Utopia Roots, because since you're negating an Xyz monster, this card gains the attack based on its rank. So 500 times 12 ranks is 6,000. So Utopia Roots now has 6,500 attack, plus it can do the exact same thing again the next turn. So then you'd attack with 7 Sins, you're going to use the last overlay unit to negate that attack, and then he has 12,500 attack. Super easy. I've done this tons of times. It's one of my favorite things to do. Let's see. Oh no, I got my cards all mixed up. Okay. Next you want to play along the I'm thinking all this stuff at the same time. So cut me a little bit of slack, guys. But so you got to play these two as well. I showed Utopic Dragon, but you also have to play number S0 Utopic Zexal. This is pretty much a 1-card win condition, especially if you get out on your first turn and you go first. Your opponent can't really do anything except to set a monster and pass. Really. So you're gonna summon Utopia Roots. You're gonna pitch the normal rank up magic card and go into Utopic Zexal. The 2 units that the card would have would make 3, including Utopia Roots, and it gains 1,000 attack for each unit. So it has 3,000 attack, but that's not even the good part. The good part is that during your opponent's turn, you can activate this card's effect, detach 1 material. Your opponent cannot activate any cards or effects for the rest of their turn. So you can so your opponent draws, standby phase, activate. Your opponent can't activate anything. You could probably even chain it on the draw, I believe. And what makes this even greater than it already is that the summon cannot be negated. This card's XYZ summon cannot be negated. When XYZ summoned, your opponent's cards and effects cannot be activated. So this cannot even be bottomless. You can't Solemn Strike it, Solemn Warning it, Solemn Judgment it. You can't do nothing to it. So you gotta play this card. And right now it's cheap. Some of you may not think so. It's about $10. Pick that up. You gotta pick that up. It's very, very good. Next, Utopic Dragon. This card is another option if you've already used Utopic Zexal, or if you just want a 4,000 beater, you've got Utopic Dragon. One of the cool things that you can do with him is, and they're both summoned the same way, mind you. So you pitch a normal rank up magic card, and then you overlay over top of the Utopia Roots. So the cool thing about Utopic Dragon is if you get the where is it at? When you get the rank up magic, the 7th one play, which I did I activated this 2 times successfully in my my last tournament, the most recent one, and I activated it 3 times during the tournament before that, which are the only 2 ones that I've done. It did get negated twice, Solemn Strike and whatever. But the thing is, I drew this. You draw this for your normal battle phase fairly easily, fairly often, and it's just insanely good. And even if you have it in your opening hand or you don't want to activate it for some reason, if you've already activated your first one, per se, then you just discard it so that you can go into like a Utopic Dragon or Utopic Zexal. So it's very maneuverable card. You can do pretty much whatever you want with it. But so you rank up Magic the 7th one, then you gets out number 107 Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon, and then you overlay right into number Chaos 107 Neo Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon per its effect. You have to go into 7. That's, I believe, mandatory. But so as I was saying before, so you draw this. You've got nothing really on the field, nothing really important. But you've got monsters in hand and you got plays you can make. So you summon, get Neo Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon, and activate his effect. Then your opponent can't activate any other cards, and all face-up cards on the field are negated. So your opponent's stuck. Now that that's in the graveyard, you can do this play. So you've got, let's say you have an Evil Thorn. You play the Evil Thorn, tribute it, inflict the 300 damage, summon the other 2. You overlay into Utopia Roots. Then you're going to pitch this other one that you had in your hand and go into Utopic Dragon. Now, Utopic Dragon's effect is once per turn, you can target one number monster in your graveyard and special summon it in defense position, but its effects are negated. But it can still attack. So that's the great thing. So you're going to take that number 170 Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon from your graveyard and special summon in defense position. That serves both as defense should your opponent want to, like, if they can somehow their next turn, like, reduce attacks and stuff to others. Never mind. Just forget I said that. But anyways, you've got that wall there, and the next turn you can switch that into its attack position and attack with it. Or if you're impatient and if you want to do this version of an extra deck, you can play the... Where is it? You can play the Galaxy Eyes Dark Matter Dragon, because that can use any Galaxy Eyes monster as material. So you can summon that in defense position, summon that in attack position, and now this is your field. You have 4 monsters, all that have over 4,000 attack. 4,000 here, 4,000 here, 4,500 here. Your opponent can't activate anything. This card can attack cards twice, right? Yeah. If you detach the material, of course. You're going to have to detach the Tachyon, but that you're going to be able to attack twice with that. And then the next turn, you're gonna be able to bring that guy back again. So this is... You got a lot of options. Did I not cover... Yes, I did not cover some things. Okay, I think I've got only a couple other plays to show you guys. Bear with me. I'm pretty new at making videos, as you can probably tell. I'm using my phone for all of these. You got Downer Magician, because once you use all of Utopic Zexal's materials, and for some ungodly reason you have not already won, he's always treated as a rank 1. So that lets you summon Downer Magician using him as an overlay unit. So Downer Magician gains 200 so Downer Magician, it can be summoned using any rank 3 or lower Xyz monster as material. Then it gains 200 attack for each material on it. It does piercing damage when it attacks. When it is attacked or it attacks an opponent's monster, then you have, after the damage calculation, you have to detach one material. But I play this card because, if I don't get the 12,500 play or anything, I can just, or if I need piercing damage, I can just do this. The only downside to this card is that you can only summon it during your main phase 2, which really stinks. Because there have been times when I would have just won it in one turn, but had that not been the case. But not a whole lot you can do about it. It's a good card nonetheless, because once Utopic Zexal is out of overlay units, its attack and defense are at 0. Now back to that last Strix thing I was talking to you guys about earlier. So last Strix, its effect, basically, you tribute it to summon any Raidraptor Xyz monster from your extra deck. And you've got 2 ways you can go with this, depending on what your hand is. If you have this in your hand, or if you play Rank Up Magic Astral Force, which I should have one lying around here somewhere. I don't play it. I don't really think you need to, but if you want to, it does the same thing. You can target one XYZ monster you control with the highest rank. Special summon from your extra deck one monster of the same type and attribute as that monster you control, but 2 ranks higher. So these two are essentially the same. I just prefer this one. So what you can do, you've got 2 options here. Like I said, you can either, if this is not in your hand, you want to go and summon, or what was that there the whole time? Oh my goodness, that is not a Raidraptor card, guys. That is not a Raidraptor. My bad. This is a Raidraptor though. So ultimate, you've got 2 things you can do here. You've got your Satellite Cannon Falcon, and you've got your Ultimate Falcon. The Satellite Cannon Falcon play is if you have Rank Up Magic Skip Force in your hand, you're going to use Last Strix effect to summon Satellite Cannon Falcon. Then you're going to use Skip Force to summon a Raidraptor Xyz monster from your extra deck that is 2 ranks higher. That would be Ultimate Falcon. Now, Ultimate Falcon is really OP. It is pretty much Super Quantal Mech Great King Great Magnus or something. I don't know. My friend plays Quantals and he uses that. It's super annoying. But to water it down, it's unaffected by all other cards' effects, just like this guy. So, and that's not all it does. You can either detach one material from this card for the rest of this turn. All monsters your opponent controls will lose 1,000 attack, and your opponent's cards and effects cannot be activated. Or you can just keep that on there as long as you want. And since it has a Raidraptor as Xyz material, once per turn during the end phase, you can make all monsters your opponent controls lose 1,000 attack, and if they don't have any monsters that are face up, or just any monsters on the field period, your opponent takes 1,000 damage. So, very easy to do this turn 1. It's just an insane thing. You're gonna win when you get this guy out. There's like nothing you can do other than, there is Kaijus. There is Kaijus, guys. I forgot about that. But Kaijus aside, anything else cannot get over this. Unless you attack over it. That's seldom going to happen, seeing as he's 3,500 attack. So you're pretty good. You've pretty much got the game. But if you don't have the skip force in your hand, what you do is, instead of summoning Satellite Cannon Falcon with last Strix, you're gonna summon Ultimate Falcon right away. His effects are negated because that's what Last Strix says. So he's not the great guy he is, and he would be in defense position. But then, since he's a rank 10 Dark type Xyz monster, you can summon the 7 Sins onto him. So 7 Sins, 4,000 beater, 3,000 defense. If you want to play him in defense, I don't know why, but it's a 4,000 beater once per turn, or not even. It's not once per turn, but it kind of is, because it only has one unit. If it would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can detach one material to keep the 7 Sins from being destroyed. So, unlike the other summoning methods where you use 8s and then use the other spider Xyz monsters to go into him, when you have more materials, you can banish stuff. You don't get the effect to banish your opponent's monsters and then attach one as material, because you need 2 to do that. I suppose you could just play another tech card that adds materials, but that would be less consistent, I feel. So all it does is just a 1,000. Sorry, my phone just vibrated. It's on low battery. That kind of messed me up there. But it's a 4,000 beater that can't be destroyed once. So small price to pay. Extremely good. I think that's actually it, now that I think about it. Side decking and stuff. I know people don't like playing Mech Lords, but I love the Mech Lords. Especially Weisel. I mean, he is the best one. He's basically Shien. Because once per turn you can negate the activation of a spell card and destroy it. So I side deck too, just because I don't like side decks, but if there's like a synchro matchup, I'll do that. I play 2 DD Crow for decks that use the graveyard, 2 Dark Hole to get rid of the fields, which I should have had. I didn't have this with me when I was playing against the barrier statues, but this would have let me win against them. I went 2-1 against them, but there's that 3rd creature swap if you want to be really trollsy. That 3rd big one warrior if you want to play that. And then I play the Kaiju engine. So not the greatest Kaiju engine, but I play the 2 Interrupted Kaiju Slumber, the 2 Gamma Seal. That's standard. I don't have 3 Humongous, so I play the 1 Humongous and the 2 Godarla. And I think that works just fine. As with the last video, I've got a mess to clean up. This is a new record, 40-minute video, just about. If you watch the whole thing, I really appreciate it. I'm betting you won't. I put the deck list at the bottom in the description. So, anyways, thanks for watching. Catch you on my next video.